This is Brandon and Julie. They're real cool and groovy people who share a passion for their motorbikes and each other. It's Brandon's 50th in a week's time, and Julie has set me a real cake and crazy sculpturing challenge to make a replica of Brandon's motorbike. Before I can even begin to imagine how this motorbike cake will look, I need to get into the mood, get all inspired. So I'm going to become a hippie biker.
Yeah, I'm sitting in the room and I wonder what to do myself. I try so hard to be like everyone else. So I'm gonna go now, baby, gonna redesign my life. 'Cause no one here, no one's got the time. Going back on the road, gonna try and find my life.
Full of inspiration, having taken loads of photographs, I returned to the shop to start making Julie's vision a cake in reality. My mate Paul offered to film me and join me in the workroom, and we shared such a buzz together, creating this latest challenge. Right, we've just been to take some photos of the bike, as you know, just had them developed here, and the more pictures you've got, the better really. And it was one of them trying to decide what's the best way to go about this. So this image here is the best one, I felt, and spoke to Julie about it. She thought, yeah, I'm actually going to be riding the bike. So the way it's going to look is, if you imagine the bike behind me, that's how the cake will appear, you know. So, done a sketch idea here, and that's the vision. Julie wants to keep this cake after the party, so it's made the fruit cake. A sponge cake would not last, obviously, as long. In fact, after the party, she wants to display the cake set in a glass-topped coffee table as a permanent art piece display in their lounge at home. What a groovy idea! Having carved the cake shape, it's covered with marzipan, then finally with fondant icing. The handles are moulded fondant icing too. The complete illusion of the motorbike is achieved with airbrushing and assorted piping techniques. The cake board is then completely iced with royal icing, using no glycerine in it, so it will set like cement, securing the weight of the fruit cake to the cake board, allowing the cake to be safely tilted when displayed. Apply darker colours to the cake with an airbrush using black food colour. If you can't get hold of black, you can mix red, blue and green colourings together, which will give an acceptable lightness to black. If you leave areas unsprayed, you can create shadows, giving the illusion of a shiny surface and light reflection of the metallic motorbike tank. Like if you're airbrushing, spray at an angle rather than directly down. And when you come to look at it this way, see you've got light areas here. So it's adding all the texture and dimension to this. This is a big charger, right, compressor, but you can get cans of air. Then apply shading with blue food colour to represent the sky. You can also water down food colours and brush them on top of airbrushed areas. In this case, we're creating a more rustic look to the grass. Obviously, you could paint the field effect without using an airbrush, using different strengths of food colour. Right, we've just taken a little break from making the cake at the shop, which is just over there. Unfortunately, we've got a park here and it's a beautiful sunny day, a bit chilly. And as you'll see behind me, right, the sun is blasting down from the sky. It's landing on the trees. At the top of the trees, much lighter than at the bottom of the tree, which you'll see is in darkness. So when you're painting on the cake, basically, it's the same principle. Use lighter shades of colour at the top of the trees and darker shades of colour at the bottom of the trees. You're laughing at me because I sound stupid, but this is serious. It's so... Okay, right. So yeah, and even with the sky now, we look up to the sky, lovely blue sky. Come down further, then it gets paler. So it's all about an application of colour So look around you and you can see what you're looking at, you know, get ideas. Without having to pick books up when you're walking down the street, there's so much happening there that you can just apply to your cake. Right, great idea here. I've got some royal icing, putting it into a paper bag. And instead of even worrying about piping tubes, you can just cut the bag, which I'm going to do now. So you slice it on an angle. I'm going to pipe some trees on here. These are going to have to be airbrushed, obviously. Some conifer type shapes. Then, just get a paintbrush. A little bit of texture. Now, with a paintbrush dipped randomly in yellow, green and blue liquid food colourings, apply short strokes to the pipe trees, giving dimension and depth to your imagery. Then with your airbrush, apply more on top of the hand-painted areas to blend in the shades which ultimately add life to the painted trees. Just like when I was in the park earlier, the lighter shades of colour on top, darker shades at the base of each tree. So that completes part 1 of making Brandon's groovy motorbike cake. Join me again in part 2, where I'll be adding the final touches to this cake and crazy challenge. We'll be partying with Brandon at his local, The Brook in Crosby, and going in search of one of Brandon's best mates, Stevie Ray Spears, who wrote and performed Going Back on the Road, now playing, especially for Brandon's birthday party. Thanks for watching, and see you later. Ha 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 ha!